Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, barbecue heads of all ages, it is Sunday night. It's just after 8 p.m. here on the East Coast. We're a little late, but that must mean it's time for one thing. Time for the Barbecue Chat Show. I am one of your hosts, Cowboy Kev. Our boy Mikey K will be joining us very, very shortly. He's running a little late. They had to change their drive for tonight and run a little different. So he is on his way. He'll be pulling up and pulling on pretty soon. Guys, hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys had a good week since last week. Got to get some cooking done. We've been planning and practicing a lot for our Egg Fest that we've got coming up. In fact, I just found out about another one in Connecticut, but I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do it. I have to do a little more planning to see if I got enough time to. So guys, sit back, relax, grab a beer. I'm filling up my big cup, and enjoy the show tonight. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to talk about. I know Mikey got to go to, I think, Heim Barbecue this week on his trek through Texas. Got to check out the Mobergs that they have there, which is really cool. Definitely cookers that me and Mikey both love to stare at. I have to look it up. Jason from Big Green Egg told me about it. I'll let you know. I'll find the message from him and I'll let you know. But I guess there is going to be another one in Connecticut. So we'll see about doing that one on top of doing the New England Egg Fest, which we are very pumped to do and actually should be pretty crazy considering all of the people that will be there. Excuse me. For those that don't know, we will be doing some live stuff from that event because, well, Mikey's going to be up here hanging out with us. So it'll be a fun day. Fun time. Hola. What's going on, dude? So, like I said, Mikey's been to Heim this week. For those who haven't been following our page and the Fire and Smoke page, he's been making his way through Texas. He was actually out of Dallas, but now they're headed back. He's still got some more stops to do. He's also going to be heading to our boy Brad Orson's at the Shed. He's actually going to be camping at the Shed, which is really cool. So he's going to be hanging out there. They're going to New Orleans for some stuff. Venezuela, what's up? Awesome. Awesome. Welcome. Enjoy. I hope you're enjoying getting to cook something. So one of the things I will tell everybody, and we get this question a lot, how come we're not cooking something when we're doing the show? Part of the reason is because it's kind of hard to sit and cook and then talk and do this show. And usually by the time we get to this show, we've already done our cooking for the day. We're chilling out. We're relaxing, getting ready to just enjoy our night and hang out. Hopefully when the weather is better, I want to do the show from outside by my cookers a little bit. Let's eat. What's up, buddy? So we're hoping that we can make that happen. Like I said, Mikey should be on here pretty much any time now. So what time is it? It is 8:11. So he told me about 10 after. So we should be seeing him soon. And our boy Sean, as far as I know, should be jumping on tonight to hang out with us. Democotarian Ranch Beef. Cool. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Hope you're enjoying your night. I made some shredded beef tacos tonight for dinner, so that was fun. Anytime we can find a reason to cook, we cook. Guys, for those of you who don't follow our page regularly, you will find we will put up when the show is. We also try to have a little fun and put up some memes. If you like pellet cookers, you might not like our memes very much. But if you guys have topics and things you want to hear me and Mikey talk about on the show, let us know. Shoot us a DM, comment, that kind of thing. We're happy to talk about stuff. If not, ask questions during the show. But if there's something you think that could be a whole topic for a show, and you want to hear me and Mikey's opinions on things, let us know. We're happy to. We're always looking for topics to talk about. Don't forget also to check out our YouTube page. You will find these shows later on posted over there, and some other shorts and some other things we are doing. We are working on expanding the page and trying to make, all of our pages a little more fun for everybody. And there is Mikey. Let's get Mikey in here. Come on, Mikey, send me like that, because we need to get Mikey in and get it going. All right. There he is.
Fuck you. Oh, fuck.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm trying to get my headphones to work. Hold on.
Now you sound like me. You sound like me like 3 months ago.
I know. What the fuck?
And then all of a sudden they worked, and I don't
figured
know
it
why.
Huh?
Turn on your Bluetooth?
Yeah, my Bluetooth wasn't on. Hey, fuck all of you, okay? Can you turn the light on in here, please? Yes,
nice
you.
hat.
First switch. What?
I said, nice hat.
God damn it. I wore mine backwards the whole time.
Oh, I want to get one of those the ones like this that are the those new open fire ones that I don't know if Al's got them or somebody else does.
I don't know if I've seen those.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. It's like open fire cooking or something like that.
Okay, so here's a question. It's an electric question, so we're gonna bore people for just 1 second. It's the first red one, first red switch up. So here's the question.
Okay.
If I plug into one of my generators, it keeps popping my GFI. Is it the generator or is it the GFI? I love you too.
So that generator shouldn't be bonded to the frame. So I would say your GFCI, like nothing's plugged into the outlet and it's popping it. That's weird.
Like the only thing that's plugged in is like the internet.
But what I mean is unplug the internet from that GFC, like unplug everything, start the generator and see if it trips.
Okay.
And like move the internet to a different plug.
Well, so here's the weird thing, because it's a fucking camper, it's one GFI for the whole front of the camper. Front and back. It's like the whole thing.
Yeah. But I mean, that means there's all kinds of other stuff plugged into it.
Probably.
So that's what I'm saying is you need to see if there's something else shorting it out.
But it doesn't do it when I have shore power or on my other generator. It's only one of my generators.
Then I would
you think it's
say you probably have then it's the generator, and somehow you have something.
What?
The neutral is bonded to the frame of the generator.
Like a agave one? A pink one?
Because that's usually what'll happen.
What was it? I'm sorry. I was trying to get beer.
So that's an honorable thing. So I would think that you've got, for some reason, you're bonded somewhere to the frame of the generator, so the neutrals are fighting.
Okay.
So, and we just got asked, what's our favorite wood? What are we
oak
cooking, and what are we cooking on?
Oak.
Mikey likes oak. I like fruit woods. I like apple.
I
That's
like
my
orange
wood
also.
choice.
I really like orange, but orange is hard to come by in mass quantities. So cooking commercially, it's very difficult. And so, like I said, cooking commercially is very difficult over oak. Or I'm sorry, over orange. But if I could, I would cook over orange. Except for beef. I'm not huge for orange on beef. It's not bad, but I think it gives too much of a citrusy flavor to it.
Yep.
So like my pork and my chicken, like, dude.
Pork and chicken, I can see it being real good.
Yeah, it's really good, pork and chicken. But if it goes to something else, like I said, oak is my baseline.
And that's one of the biggest things I tell people when they talk about wood. What's convenient?
Morning. No. Are we talking about something else?
I will cheers to that one, bud.
So I'm trying this is made with agave. Or it's made with guava. I can read.
Hi, my name is Mikey.
Mm-hmm. So, this is actually really good. It has a weird aftertaste.
It's really good, but it's got a weird aftertaste.
Yeah, it kind of tastes like ass.
Pecan's not bad.
Really good. Actually, it tastes like ass.
Tastes like bad ass.
Welcome to the show, everybody. If you've never watched before, this is where we go sometimes.
Do we have any other beer? Like nothing?
Mikey doesn't even have his standard Coors Light.
What about that? What about the one, the black and white one, the black and white label? That's racist, but I'll have it. No, absolutely not.
If it makes you feel any better,
I totally just lost you. Is it you or me?
it's me.
Okay. I feel like that's a bad relationship. Is it you or me?
I'm just here to drink large amounts of alcohol.
Jesus Christ. We're not getting on Weber this week. Poor fucking Weber. Trying their bestest. They are doing some giveaways with the fucking thingy.
With the Blackstone thing.
Just like Grandpa would like you to do. Love it when Grandpa gives away things.
Just saying, they're trying. Although they teamed up with it's the Are You Kidding Me guy. What's his fucking name who can't fucking cook? It's another fuck that I can't stand on social media.
I mean, you're just talking about too many people.
Douchebag. And I think the problem is that I take our craft so seriously and I love it so much that when somebody fucks up and fucks with it and then becomes big on social media for no real reason, it bothers me in the sense of like, dude, you can't cook because I'm watching you cook and I'm watching you do this shit and you're fucking it up and you're telling people how to cook. It's the blind leading the fucking blind.
I'm trying to see a problem with what you're saying. I can't find one word that's the problem. So it doesn't equal douche anywhere. I don't know what the problem is. I mean, I think that there's just so many freaking idiots. There's a demographic.
Sure.
You know, there's like a douche. I mean, I don't think you're the douchebag. I mean, you
Yeah.
are a douchebag, but you're our kind of douchebag. You know, it's the rest of the world that's pretty messed up. It's like that. I mean, I think any old school.
Are you opening windows?
The same way.
I would turn off that AC then.
Well, I mean, when you do that sort of shit, you're pretty much of a douchebag. That's different.
Missed you too, Mikey.
I call it.
You're number one, Steelhouse.
Oh, dude. Every day in your heart.
Every day of my life.
I know.
Okay, say hi and then go. You're going to bed. Go to bed. You gotta then just lay down and just like relax and then fall asleep.
That's how it works when you're parenting. Just lay down.
Yeah, then they never fucking go to sleep though. Jesus.
Nope.
Ever. Water. Potty. I'm scared. I can't sleep.
Fucking kill me. No. She's gonna be up at like dude, she's gonna be up.
Oh, dude.
I swear to God, she's gonna be up at like 6 a.m. tomorrow. And she's gonna drive me fucking crazy.
Dude, what is your problem? Find yourself some Benadryl, pour it in a little sippy cup, have yourself a nice morning.
Well, so like we got an opportunity where she gets to go meet the Ninja Kids tomorrow. Yeah, do you know who they are?
Ninja Kids?
Ask your daughter. She probably knows who they are. So she gets to meet the Ninja Kids tomorrow. They're big YouTubers. And,
like make more money than the three of us combined will ever see.
Those
in like a month.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter's into I forgot what it's called. Some stupid. These guys are like older than around our ages, but they act like they're 10, and they look like rich kids that just like.
Are you talking about like
party
Dude Perfect?
Like 10-year-olds in their parents' house? There it is, but not Dude Perfect. It's something else. It's
what?
Used to be a redheaded dude, but now he's balding redheaded dude. And opened up his own water slide or something like that. Anyways, my kids are in that.
What's up, bro?
What's up, Retail Butcher?
So, yeah, so we get to go meet them tomorrow. Long story, I'll tell you about it later if you really give a shit. But here's the barbecue question of the world. You guys ready? We're gonna get on it. We're gonna actually talk about barbecue. Sure. Guys, it's the Barbecue Chat Show. We try to talk about barbecue.
We try, honestly.
So
Weber.
Good. God, he threw me off. Fuck. Here we go. At what point can you? What's wrong? You hit yourself with the. Jesus Christ. Come here.
This is parenting.
She hit herself. She hit her. She was.
This is when you're screaming at your kids.
She opened up.
Your mom
like,
gets the phone call after she's screaming at you.
She opened up like the I don't know door, and it hit her on the foot.
We're trying to.
Bro, you should have.
No. So here's the question:
that would have been
at
awesome.
what point do barbecue? At what point can you not call barbecue barbecue? That's my question.
When you plug it in.
Okay, no, but I'm saying at what point, like how far, like, okay, so like there. Oh no, okay. So there's Asian fusion, there's different fusions,
right?
But at what point can you stop calling barbecue barbecue?
Okay, well then, shoot.
I mean, you can go first.
You want me?
I want to know what your guys' opinions are, like, because there's so many barbecue. No, but there's so many barbecue restaurants,
right,
that are no longer cooking barbecue.
No, I agree. If it's cooked on gas, if it's not logs out front, it's not barbecue. If you're not using, this is how I define it for myself, and I'm not trying to crap on anybody else. I don't feel it's barbecue if there's not logs out front. If I don't see a smoker, but especially logs. I mean, logs are barbecue.
No, so like my my thing is like, okay, so Valentina's, they're Tex-Mex,
right?
But he very clearly defines himself as Tex-Mex barbecue.
Barbecue, exactly.
But he's giving you what to expect.
Yes, but
my question is,
even if he didn't, people would eat that and go, "This is barbecue," because it's freaking barbecue.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you. Yes, but what I'm trying to say is, like, at what point have we pushed the meter too far? Even if it's cooked on a smoker, at what point have we changed the food enough that we no longer call it barbecue?
When the sides outweigh the meats, and when it's no longer being prepared in the oldest cooking fashion known to man.
Okay.
That's my humble thing. I don't care what continent or what place you're in, as long as you're using fire made from wood and it's still in hunks of meat and it's got smoke to it, it's going to be barbecue.
But then what's wood-fired pizza? Would you consider, using that rationale,
no,
wood-fired pizza is barbecue?
Of meat. Large chunks of meat.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I think that has to be
but
really
you could
important.
Say that pellets are wood.
You can, but you'd be wrong.
Technically, they're wood.
I'm talking about
made out of wood.
Natural, like, if you can cut it out of something. I mean, really, if you want to make pellets, or not, I mean, it takes some sort of manipulation for it to become a pellet, and it has to be a certain size. It has to be. I'm talking at your basic, most raw form. It's not hard to cut off where it's no longer barbecue. I think anybody who's got common sense will go, okay, this is barbecue. Now, if it's not large chunks of meat, if you're talking about sous vide, or you're plugging in gas, or you're plugging in a cord, or you're anything like, it's no longer barbecue. Barbecue has always been raw fire, wood, and large chunks of meat.
American barbecue, at least. Yes.
I'm talking barbecue worldwide. That's how.
Well, no, because if you look at Korean barbecue is different.
It's it's very small pieces of meat.
Yeah.
Right, but they're grilling that sort of thing. Like once you get into the Wagyu type stuff, it's like you're kind of getting into a grilling thing. It's more of a cooking thing, and I love like some Korean barbecue, but it should be called Korean grilling. It's a lot of it's grilling, and a lot of it, especially when you're cooking it on your own, it's just basically a gas grill. The hibachi setup. I really think it has to be fire, wood fire. It has to come from wood, not pellets. It can't be processed in any way, shape, or form. You should be able to do it without electricity or a gas or any help. You should be able to do it with wood and metal.
But then here's your thing: your comment about processed really in any way, then that takes out charcoal.
It's true.
Charcoal is a process. We'll say, in theory, a tree could fall down and you can pick up branches and put it in a fire. But charcoal, it has to be burned down first into charcoal.
Right. So it just takes a bit longer. Theory, so you could. If you're going to do that, we could do that, but it still starts out as a chunk of wood that you just happen to set on fire. You're not doing.
You could say the same thing
else. No.
Being devil's advocate, you could say the same thing with a pellet. It starts as a chunk of wood.
Dick, but honestly, it's like
didn't we have this conversation earlier that I'm a dick?
No, not you, but I'm talking you serious. You are, of course. But it's
we know that
difference. You can see the difference. It just takes some common sense. And that's the thing that, those guys that are stuck on that like to argue, well, my logs are just smaller. That's awesome. Good for you. I'm not arguing that point. This is my belief on what barbecue is supposed to be. And if it happens to be charcoal, it's because it just burnt down and broke apart, and you happen to use a shovel to take that log and put it underneath a grill. That's not processing. That's waiting while you drink beer for wood to clump up into, charcoal. Not a big deal.
Remember.
So
I know you just
I like electric air blowers. That's great. It's
but they're not necessary.
It's not necessary for you to barbecue.
I'm a big fan of getting blown. Yeah,
of course. It's always better when you have a partner. I don't know why you took out 4 ribs, but whatever.
It's a lot
Just
easier.
want to emulate Maryland.
Oh, I'm super bendy. Whatever.
A lot easier, dude. Good night.
I think
I don't know how that.
we'll say, so I'll go with air blowers.
You gotta.
Air blowers
Yeah, I love
aren't
you too,
necessary for the
Jesus.
product to work. To get to cook,
Excuse me.
they're a tool to make it easier and to help regulate it.
I mean, I
Yeah,
get it. We have a lot of we have technology that we use with the old school. I get that, but basic barbecue at its core doesn't need anything else. I mean,
I know, but I'm just asking, at what point does a barbecue restaurant no longer have the ability to call themselves a barbecue restaurant?
okay, that's a different question.
When less than
To say that they are a barbecue place.
I gotta see logs. I'm sorry, I gotta see logs.
Okay.
I guess I'm going to look at it from the food aspect. When less than half of their menu involves smoked products,
Okay.
and I
So you say
think that's
you're
kind
saying
of
50%,
at least 50% of their menu,
not more.
not more,
You don't think it
because
should
we'll
be
say
like
you
60?
could,
Like
but see, you
60%?
could have desserts, your sides necessarily, things like that.
Okay.
So that's why I say at least 50% of their menu has to
but I don't
involve
consider
smoked products.
so I don't consider desserts to be necessarily like their food, obviously, and that's awesome. But when I look at a menu, at no point in time do I ever make my decision of where I'm going to go based on desserts. You'll make your decision based on entrees and sides, right? You can be like, oh my god, we love this, and even appetizers, right? Those
Yeah.
are the three that most people make their decision on when where they're going, unless they're going somewhere for strictly dessert, and then that's a whole different game. But I'm talking like the average person that is going out to eat looks at your menu and says, okay, they are a barbecue place, or they're a barbecue food truck, they're a barbecue this. At what point do you say you are no longer a barbecue food truck because you serve pulled pork quesadillas, tacos, sliders, and fucking fried chicken?
Yeah, no, I
Do you get what I'm saying?
now. I get what you're saying now. Okay, when you don't have those things in bulk, when you don't have full packer brisket, when you don't have full pork shoulder, when you don't just have those things as the main entree, I think you're just trying to, fudge it in. I mean, every one of those things you can make taste good that does not need to be smoked. You could do that crap in a crock pot if you want.
Well, I mean, if you look at it honestly, it's like pulled pork, right?
Right.
It can be made in a crock pot.
Can be made in an oven.
Yeah, but then
Can be
again,
made in
what
an
I'm
oven
saying is,
too.
but if it's not made with logs, then it's not barbecue. And what's up, Brooklyn Pit Rat? Just saw you walked in. Man, grilled rat sounds good right now. Anyways, the way he would smoke that sucker. If you don't have it in bulk, if you got appetizers as barbecue, it's not barbecue. I mean, it's got to be. I got a rack of ribs. I want quarter pound of pulled pork. I want half pound of brisket. For me, that's straight, full on barbecue. Now, if you got quesadillas and tacos and sliders and fried chicken, you don't have barbecue. You have smoked appetizers and fried chicken.
I know, but I mean, that's my question. Like, and that's where I feel like it's such a weird place that we're at in the food world right now. Is there's a lot of places that are calling themselves barbecue that necessarily aren't barbecue.
I never see that in California. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean,
Well, that goes back to, I'll put it,
never happens here, I promise you.
but that kind of goes back to, we'll call it Chili's. Chili's ribs.
Baby back.
So how many places just put sauce on something and call it barbecue? How many places have a barbecue burger? How many places have a barbecue burger that just is barbecue sauce?
But I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying is, I understand that there's a lot of places that do that, but it's the places that have barbecue in the name that is like, I am double B barbecue.
Yeah.
Or I am blah, blah, blah barbecue.
Right.
And then you go see their menu.
Right.
And you're like,
you're a taco truck that uses smoked meat.
Which is why I brought Valentina's up. Not in any, like, fucking love that place.
Oh, because amazing. But you can get as much brisket and pulled pork and ribs as you want there too.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm just saying, his name also lets you know.
Yeah.
Because he uses Tex-Mex.
That you should expect
a Tex-Mex spin on barbecue.
You should expect some kind of spin on barbecue. And I'm okay with that.
Because he's in Texas. If he was in California, he wouldn't have to do that at all. Because the rules aren't in place.
I feel like you need to. Because I feel like that, like, I know, like, standard rule. Like, we can't make a standard rule and make people follow it. But it'd be like if I decided to fucking call myself an Italian food truck.
Because you have balsamic vinaigrette in your salad or something stupid?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because you serve the pasta.
Because I serve a pasta over this kind of stuff.
I hear what you're saying. And here's my comment on that is I think that what Miguel did with Valentina's was awesome by kind of having that disclosure in the title. I think especially for where he's at, it's really important. It's not, I mean, I don't think it's vital, but I think it was a good idea. That being said, would I go there and go, this is more Mexican than barbecue? I wouldn't. I'd go there and be like this is barbecue with some Mexican
with a Mexican spin.
Right. And
which I think is fine.
Right. And if he was out here in California, I don't think he would have to do that, but I still think it would be a good idea if he went that route in the title. But nobody goes to Valentina's and goes, this is not a barbecue joint because of first of all, Valentina's. You go there, it's obvious what you're getting. I think that if we were going to make a hard and fast rule about it, immediately I'd say, okay, what's your equipment? If you're not working on a 250 to 500, gallon offset or something that's just working with mostly logs or, something large that says, hey, commercial, and I feed a lot of people, and hey, it's in California, but I need a little bit of a gas assist. I get that. It's a kitchen. But what are you producing? Is it 50% actual smoked stuff? And then you're making other stuff with that? Is that your base? Okay. That's the hard and fast rule. Your equipment's got to be righteous and your menu's got to be 50% at least, barbecue. I think that's a good, I get that. You have to have those core options. Smoked ribs, smoked, brisket, pulled pork. Like even when I see folks out here, it says, barbecue tri-tip. It's like, okay, no, you just do tri-tip. That's cool, but you don't have anything here that requires wood. You're just grilling tri-tip on top of a gas grill from your truck. That's awesome. I don't think that's barbecue,
See,
but then we get into a weird area because it's California. So,
but I feel like there's a lot more than just California that's experiencing this.
No, I agree.
And I feel like so many people are just using the term barbecue as a overlay of what they do.
Yep.
When that's not really what they do.
Exactly, which is like.
So I think I have a different rule for you. Hold on. You have to offer the traditional, one of the traditional meats that is smoked as an offering by itself, not made into another style of dish. So not a taco, we'll say a pulled pork sandwich counts towards the pulled pork part, but not putting it into another form of cooking or another form of food. You need to have at least, I'll say, 2 of the traditional meats. Because, and the reason I say 2 of the traditionals, because let's use, are you going to tell me Skylight Inn and Sam Jones isn't barbecue? And all they do is pork?
No, but they're cooking whole hog. So
but that's what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. So, no, I'm saying they're not. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm saying what I don't understand is why can't people name themselves properly? Right?
What they really are.
Because
instead of saying, yeah, but it's like
ignorance.
You fuck the rest of us up.
No, it's true, and that's I agree. But I think barbecue's a lot like porn. You know it when you see it. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, this is. But you get to do it more with barbecue than porn. So I mean,
they both deal with meat. Usually large cuts.
Yeah, man, I ain't going down this road. I swear to you, it's just too much. I overloaded real quick. Anyways, I agree. No, I think that.
But you know what I mean? Like
the meats have to be the star of the show if it's going to be barbecue, and it has to be smoked, and it has to be with fire, and it has to be with wood.
See, I think the big thing is the meat has to be the star of the show. I think that's a big part of it. And if you're putting fucking shit in quesadillas,
no.
We went to
I get
a Mexican restaurant tonight. So did I. I went to a Mexican restaurant tonight, and I was looking at the menu, and I was like, do I want a taco? Do I want a burrito? Like, what do I want? And then, like, I'm just, like, looking, and they're like, we do steak quesadillas. And I'm like, so simple.
So good.
But I'm like, it's going to be so good. So I'm like, I'm not super hungry, but I'm like, I'm just going to fucking get a steak quesadilla.
Why not?
Cool. So that's what I got. And then they did a cheese melt on top of it.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Bro, so good.
All right, look. It's the same reason why a steakhouse is not called a barbecue joint.
That's the thing.
Because it's steak. And that's going to be closer than anything else out there is a steakhouse. But you know how a steakhouse is different than freaking barbecue. You just know. You know, it's like you have to be directed. I mean, it maybe if you're stupid, you got to figure things out. Or what's the difference? And you got to be. But we're running into the same people when you have to explain what's barbecue and what's not. And there's just going to be those same type of window lickers that are going to put barbecue on their title because they think they can bite their own ear too. I don't know what to tell you.
But I'm just saying, like, the hard part of that is that you have to, when you are traditional barbecue, you get these people. Kev, are you on Wi-Fi or are you on
I'm on 5G.
You may want to jump on Wi-Fi. Your 5G is rough tonight. You're very granular.
I was just saying, me and Sean look good. You're the one over here that's looking all fuzzy.
Oh, see, that's the funny thing. Me and Sean look fine. You're the one that's fuzzy.
Well, I don't know what it is.
Denominator of this beautiful show.
At
least I was
like
light. I don't care.
He's got like the sunlight hitting in. He's got the sunlight
4G
coming in
and
from
5G
behind.
don't matter. I'm the OG. I make it look good.
He's got the sunlight coming in from behind. Looks like fucking Jesus.
Well, I don't know what you do in your brother. Coming in from behind is not what I do. You keep it to yourself, Zima drinker. Jeez.
I said the sun. Just the sun is like making you like glow. Yeah, like look at
I'll
this.
tell you about barbecue, my son. It has fire.
But no, what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, and Kev, I know you brought it up where you were like, you know, there's places that do like a barbecue burger and places like that.
Right.
But like, the place is called fucking Chili's. It's not called Chili's Barbecue.
Right.
The place is
Correct.
called, you know, fucking
Right.
blah 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 burger
Right.
place, right? You know, I did it.
Yeah.
You know, we did a pizza. We teamed up with a pizza place and did barbecue pizzas. But the
Right.
pizza place didn't fucking call themselves barbecue pizza.
No.
They just put a smoked menu together, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
fun.
It's
I'm
like,
just
you know,
sick
it's
of
like it's like this. It's like, you know, hey, bread could have been beer. Right? Beer has food qualities. But food does not have beer qualities. It's kind of the same thing as, you know, restaurants. Like my buddy owns a barbecue joint. He has the pit burger there. It's ground up brisket. It's smoked. It's a burger. It's smoked and it's ground up and it's brisket. Now, if that was somewhere else, I would not call that place barbecue. I just wouldn't. Even though it's brisket, it's smoked, has all the things, they would have to have more larger pieces of meat as the show.
Sure.
And it has to be traditionally smoked. And you're instantly
That's why I say
disqualified
you have
if
to
use
offer.
liquid smoke. If you use liquid smoke, you're no longer a barbecue joint. You can't use the name barbecue for the rest of your life. I don't make the rules.
That's why I think you have to offer the meat itself. So like sliced brisket or chopped brisket or ribs themselves or pulled pork or chicken, not just a taco or a quesadilla
Right.
and other things. You need to actually offer a piece of the larger piece of meat and on it as its own.
And
So
I'm pretty sure that everybody else is just missing the point when it comes to that. They're just not educated.
well, a lot of
enough.
places they think we'll say like around here you go to the fairs and it's barbecue this and all it is like pulled pork that they poured barbecue sauce on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
and you can tell there's no smoke to it. They're just calling it barbecue because they put sauce on it.
Yes.
Bro, I'm out in California. There's so many different barbecue joints. There's one that is known as the barbecue joint in the area, and not hating on these guys at all. It's a family-run company. They've done an amazing job making a ton of money in franchising. You know, these little, it bothers me because I don't want to shit on these guys because I don't hate them at all. I think they're amazing people, and I think their product is decent, but I don't feel like it's barbecue. They have tri-tip sandwiches. They have some ribs at some of their places sometimes, but it's like a large deli, and it's amazing. I love it, but they're known for their barbecue sauce, and their barbecue sauce is freaking amazing. It just is. But they kind of lost. I can't go to one of those joints and see a smoker anywhere that is working. You know what I mean? That's being used properly. And
Yeah.
I'm sure
Barbecue sauce is not a barbecue make.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, and
like
I think if it gets any more complicated with that, then there's a problem with the person who's deciding on the name of the company.
Like there's a truck that's by us that does they're a barbecue truck and he serves
That
more
was
fried
by
food.
you.
That was by us, yeah. But he serves more fried food through his window than he actually does barbecue.
So don't call yourself barbecue. Call yourself fried.
Just call yourself whatever name you're calling yourself. Just drop the barbecue.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we're getting into a different issue because somehow along the way, I've always thought barbecue was cool, but became like more of a
popular. It became this thing.
It did,
And-
but and
I think
the thing is,
people
like,
they want to be a part of that, and they like that thing that goes with bar. Who doesn't? We love it, but it kind of, I think with our group, it kind of happened around us. You know what I mean? It's like it got cool around us, and I'm like, I know I ain't that cool, man. I'd be backstage. I'm like, my barbecue has got to be good because I am not this cool. There's no way in hell. But it's just like to see everybody appreciates great food, and that's the fact. And there has this. I mean, as long as we've been in the restaurant and food industry, chefs have always been the rock stars, right? But it takes a lot of.
no, they were the nerds. Remember? No, they were fucking nerds when I was growing up.
All they're out here, man. They're all doing coke and being rock stars out here. So
no, but I'm saying, like, dude, like working in kitchens, like realistically, until like I would say the mid '90s in Food Network, like people looked at chefs and looked at people that worked in kitchens as like, okay, so when's bail?
Yeah.
What day do you have to leave because you're going to jail for a little bit? Like,
yeah,
you're tattooed. There's a reason we don't let you to the front of house.
But then it transitioned into this show off.
Yeah, we want to see the chefs. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
That rock star,
and
right.
But you can thank Food Network and that kind of
barbecue specifically was a thing that transitioned, like it's almost like the outlaw cook or something like that. You know what I mean? It became, and that's like if you can have a hint of barbecue with what you do, it just makes you look.
But I think part of the reason the outlaw thing happened in the barbecue world, and you had these guys that got really held up high, the Rodney Scotts, the Aaron Franklins and such, is because most of all the big barbecue people, somebody that had a true culinary background.
Right.
Tuffy Stone's one of the few that had a true culinary background that is well known. Most of them were competitive backyard guys that took the steps. They weren't people that were chefs in a restaurant, in a regular restaurant, and did barbecue and then went into barbecue.
Right. It's usually
Tuffy Stone's a classically trained French chef. You know, guys like Andy Husbands, guys like that they're the outliers in the barbecue world.
Yes, I agree.
We'll say guys like us.
They come to the shop with like 5 more tool sets with them. You know what I mean? Because they can apply it differently. And it feels, barbecue guys like us, it's like we're kind of. Oh, I grew up in construction, so I call it like we're the framers of the construction world. You know what I mean? We deal with just like the bare basics. It's like, and it's become.
We do this.
Right. It was a lot easier to be like, this is barbecue, this is French food, this is Italian, this is a steakhouse, and it kind of fit in these blocks. The most beautiful thing ever happened in the world is when communication with the 90s and with internet and all that crap, things started to get well known. And I think that because all of the information and knowledge that went into barbecue and how hard it wasn't just this simple thing. You have to coax the flavor out of this meat, and you have to do it low and so all this became a very, wow, that's talent, that's skill. I want to do that. And a lot of people did,
but I think,
and they did amazing stuff. But then a lot of people didn't want to put the work in, and they just kind of got okay at it. And then their friends told them how amazing they were, or the people around them aren't used to even know what barbecue is. And then it became this thing, or I'm okay at this now. All right, barbecue it is, and they don't push any further.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, and then but you also get that, like, you get like these chefs who do come out,
right?
Don't learn the craft,
right? That's different.
And then and
like
then they're like, well, I can do barbecue, I can do it, and instead of doing barbecue to barbecue, They're like, well, I'm going to put a French spin on it, or I'm going to put this spin on it. I'm going to do
sous vide
this spin
first.
on it.
I'll sous
I'm
vide
going to put,
it, and then I'll put it in the smoker.
yeah, I'm going to put a, you know, an Italian spin on it, or I'm going to put this spin on it. And it's like, man,
You spun the
you didn't
barbecue out of
learn.
it.
Yeah. Like, you didn't learn this. Like, you didn't learn. I feel like it's like, oh, well, I guess, like, this is the best way that I can explain it, right? It's like me saying, I know how to ride a Harley. Okay? I can ride a Harley. So, that's a heavy bike. I can ride a Harley. That's fine. Cool. Come ride a dirt bike over dirt bike tracks. Oh, well, I can ride a Harley. It'll be fine. I can do it.
Whole different world.
I got a better one for you. This is what it is. It's like, oh man, this is gonna be horrible. All right, cocaine, straight from Colombia, from the plant, pure,
Beautiful thing.
white. Actually, I hear you can't even OD on pure cocaine. I don't know if that's true or not. By the time it gets over to the corner, over here, it's been stepped on and mixed up with so much stuff. When does it stop being called cocaine? Right? How much is it?
Usually when it gets to LA.
Yeah, usually. Yeah. By the time it goes, you get diarrhea before you get high. That's, it gives you, that's kind of like what barbecue is. It's like, like gold. All right. How much are you going to melt into it until it's no longer gold? It makes no sense. It has to be the main ingredient. You can't just spin stuff. You can't fuse all this.
Well, is it gold or gold plated?
That's the thing. That's exactly the thing. Because if it's gold plated, guess what? It ain't barbecue. If it's solid,
but what I'm saying is, like, with the chef thing though,
right?
It's the
no, I get you.
So many of them think like,
but
well, I'm classically trained.
Right.
I don't give a
matter.
Fuck
They're
if
not
you're
barbecue trained.
Do you know how to run a fire cleanly? Whoa!
And I yeah. See, that's the problem. That's a problem, and it's not our problem. That's their problem. It's humility. It's a humility issue. You can't just.
But I'm saying,
don't get me wrong.
They're going to go put out product. They're going to go put out
You call it
product, and then
barbecue.
call it barbecue, and then you need to go re-educate your customer. Or here's the big problem: how many times have you heard, "I don't like smoked food"?
Yep.
It's too smoky. I don't like smoked food. Well, have you ever had clean smoked food? No idea.
Yeah.
And you know exactly what I'm talking about, Sean, because it happens in California all the fucking time. I'm sure there's fucking rich white girls out there that say, I don't like smoked food, but they will go to the hood and they will get a pit bull that loves smoked food, and it will be wearing a sweater in a week.
I'll give you this. I got into the food industry because what got me really into food was I moved out on my own, started going to this Italian joint in my neighborhood. Dude was Moroccan who owned the place. He was living in this restaurant because he put everything he had into this restaurant, right? And they had an apartment in San Francisco, and they did not have enough hours in the day to work the restaurant, handle business, go back home, and then come back and prep. So they were just sleeping on the floor. It was him and his nephew. And I was like, this is BS, man. Hey, why don't you just come sleep on my couch? Because I was eating there like it was like a house payment for me. It was ridiculous. I learned more about food there. That was like my school of hard knocks in college. And I learned more about Italian food and French food and Moroccan food and all these different things because I trusted them. Like he said, look, if you don't like what I feed you, you don't have to pay for it, but I want you to learn about what I'm feeding you. This is good food. Respected this guy. I still do. I respect him immensely. He was a rock star chef. He was a master chef in San Francisco for decades, and then before he opened up his own place as executive chef. Before I got into barbecue professionally, I brought him my chicken, and I spent so much time perfecting my chicken. It was like
my opus getting into barbecue because my mom fed us chicken like 3 or 4 times a week. And sorry, Mom, but it was horrible. It was. She hates the story, but it was frozen chicken thighs, bone in. She would put in a glass Pyrex dish and sprinkle Mrs. Dash on it. Put on wax paper, throw that crap in the microwave, and 45 minutes later, you got yourself some chewy chicken. And I started grilling because that was disgusting. And I was like 13 or 14, and that's why I started, getting into chicken. But I brought it over to, fast forward, I brought it over to the chef I respect, who taught me everything I knew about fine dining and good food. And he says, it's too smoky, I think. And it's got too much barbecue sauce on it, and I think you should go boneless. And he started kind of, picking apart what I did. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of listening. And obviously this guy knows way more than I do when it comes to the restaurant industry. But he was completely missing what I was trying to do. And I had to realize that first. And I think a lot of chefs who are skilled, talented, and have a lot of confidence, and frankly, most of them have a lot of cockiness. If you don't, you shouldn't really be a chef, because you should have that showmanship when you're walking into your kitchen. You know what's up. This is my spot. All that goes out the window when you're trying to learn something new. I don't care what it is. You're good at that. You're not good at this. In fact, a lot of those skills might mess you up over here. So act like you don't know anything. And to do that takes a lot of humility. And some people do it in an amazing way. So that's how they continue to learn new things and be masters of it. But when you get a chef like that goes into the barbecue situation, he already knows too much most of the time to focus so much on that barbecue, because barbecue at that point is not the main goal, because I've accomplished so much already, and this was so difficult already that barbecue is no longer the center and the prize, and the barbecue cannot compete with anything else. It's like champagne and bourbon. Don't get them together, man. They ain't hanging out. You know what I mean? Barbecue wants to be the star. It has to be.
Well, they try to make it, they try to fancy it up, because in their mind, it's too simple. And in their mind, if these guys that will say in their backyard can cook it, then I can.
I mean, yeah,
And
but you got a French chef that says, I'm going to put ratatouille on my menu because it's a high-end dish, but it's a fucking peasant dish. The thing is all dishes that
Mikey's not a Disney person either, just so you know.
but the thing is, like, all dishes that define cultures come from peasant dishes. They all do.
Yep.
Every fucking dish. And the thing is, like, I think barbecue's at this point right now where it's coming up in its age of like, we had French cuisine, we had Italian, and not that saying that these cuisines are over, but I'm just saying, like, you had French cuisine, you had Italian cuisine, you had Mexican food was very, very big for a while.
Oh, homie, it's California. Never left.
I know. I'm saying, like, but I'm saying
we just call it food here.
Yeah. They call Chinese restaurants Chinese in China? No, they just call it food. Oh yeah, my bad.
This used to be Mexico back in the day, so you know.
No, but you get what I'm saying. Like, if you look at food trends, like, there's always been those, like, okay, these are the restaurants that are really big right now. These are that.
And barbecue's been badass for a good long time. It's like
barbecue's been kind of in its uptrend, but I feel like instead of people trying to make it better and keep it pure, like we did with every other fucking cuisine, it's people trying to bastardize it.
Well, and here's a hard part. All right, and I think I know what you're saying too,
but I think it has to be you have to get as close to that while maintaining purity to have innovation. You get what I'm saying?
But I feel like
But
we're
I
not
think,
maintaining purity.
but I
No,
think
I
part
agree.
of the reason too is, unlike taking, I'll call it French cuisine or Italian cuisine, and changing it up and doing those different takes on it, it's a little harder to do it, I think, with French and Italian. Smoked meat, not saying barbecue, but smoked meat as its own lends itself very well to be used in a lot of very interesting and unique ways. Again, not calling it barbecue,
Right.
just saying smoked meat.
Okay, I think I give you for instance. So I'm later this week. You heard about my drunk mushrooms I do right on top of gorgonzola tri-tip.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a different route. I'm gonna do the drunk mushrooms, but I'm gonna make it as a sauce for pasta.
Ooh.
Yeah. So so I use like a stick of butter, a bunch of sliced up or a stick of butter, bunch of garlic,
Actually, no.
2 or 3 shots of bourbon, gorgonzola. Excuse me. Put in the mushrooms, baby portobello. Let it cook. Put in gorgonzola cheese till it becomes a sauce. I think I'm gonna add some heavy cream until kind of becomes this thing, and then I'll make the pasta. Put put some basil in there too. Put it on the top of the pasta, and put thin slices of tri-tip on it. Now
No.
that is not barbecue by
No.
any stretch of the imagination, and this proves your point that barbecue has a lot more. It makes a lot more sense to barbecue to fuse with something else. Like we're gonna have like this
So it's
Italian. It's gonna
adaptable.
be right. We're gonna actually make this Italian a little. It's gonna be smoked. It's gonna be different, But you can't do it the other way because barbecue has too big of a presence. It needs to be the star of the show. It's like everything else is aside. It's like, hey, we're gonna make it Italian. Cool. We're having brisket and pasta. You know what I mean? It's like it's not gonna be. It just
Stop.
can't. Barbecue, in essence, in the very definition of itself, is going to be large chunks of meat smoked with fire and logs. You know what I mean? It's like like even get into like Greek food when they do like a whole freaking goat, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you get into Argentinian ways of barbecue. Guess what? They're just throwing that whole thing out there like that, and it's over the fire, just cooking.
Yep.
That's barbecue to me. Sorry, it's different. They're using different things, but that's barbecue. That's the essence. That's the tradition. That's the principle of
But you would
barbecue.
call it, but to Mikey's point, we'll say using Valentina's calling it Tex-Mex,
Right.
you would call that Argentinian barbecue.
No, I mean, but see, that's the beauty because Valentina's fused everything together perfectly, where barbecue is the main attraction still. Like you can't hide that. It's like, all right, we got ourselves a nice little breakfast sandwich with a big ass huge piece of brisket on top of that. It's like, okay, it just goes to show you barbecue has to be the star. It's like, bleh, we got this big hunk of meat.
But I think Valentina's is the exception. It is not the rule. I don't think.
No, you're right, but Miguel went at it with barbecue. I think Miguel went at it with like 2 guns. You know what I mean? And he did it perfectly. But that's because Mexican food is fairly basic too, and I think Mexican food is the best thing to pair with barbecue. I mean, what
I don't
what
disagree
else?
with you.
You can't do it with anything else. I mean, you can, but it's going to be weird. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can do some barbecued Filipino food. I mean, I guess you could do that. It'd be different. I mean, you could do like some chicken adobo smoked on top of rice, or you could do like something like that where it'd still be barbecue because it could be completely different than anything else. But traditionally, the way the techniques that are being used is traditional barbecue still. So I mean, that's the thing is don't fuse yourself out of barbecue. You know what I mean? It's like innovate as much as you can, and I think that's what we're supposed to do with barbecue. Is we're supposed to make it our own, and that's the fun of it. It's like you don't have to follow the rules that was done for generations because you want to make it yours. You're supposed to. It's art. It's craft. It's this beautiful thing that we've learned that's supposed to be the star of the show, but we want to turn it into our own and the foods that we like, or we're searching to include in new things. And I think we're supposed to finding spices, new ways to add to barbecue. You know what I mean?
Very
But it still has
California
to be the
way to
star of
look
the
at
show.
it.
I am, well, hey man, I hate to tell you, man, born and bred and full of life. Sorry you weren't born in the great state of California, huh?
No.
I'm not even gonna go there because I'm not.
God, there's some
We
bad
can't
things.
all be from. We
How's
can't
your
all be from
fuel
one
prices?
country.
Bro, I could take you surfing, snowboarding, and white trash hunting all on the same day. Trust me.
No, but
Amazing.
I'm saying, it's just I feel like the rules that are in place for like Mexican dishes and the rules that are in place for Italian, the rules that are in place for Korean or Chinese or Japanese dishes, people don't fuck with, right? And
Well,
I feel like the rules that get put in place, and I mean, I'm from Chicago, so dude, we get some badass fusion places.
right.
Don't get me wrong. Like, if you do a fusion place, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the fact that you could say, hey, we're X, Y, and Z fusion barbecue. Cool. Because you're telling me what I'm expecting.
Right.
But when you tell me that you are a traditional barbecue truck and then I come up to you, or you're a traditional barbecue restaurant, and I come up to your restaurant and I read the menu and it's not traditional barbecue in any way, shape, or form,
Then there's a problem.
then there's the problem of, well, what are we doing here?
So the problem in California is those are everywhere.
I know.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's for me, it's always been like, okay, where is the real barbecue joints out here? It's always me been sifting through that to find the real stuff. And I've seen guys do it crazy. I mean, there's guys that are super, super popular that come from like chef's background that have all the hookups in the world to be looking the most professional, have the best photographer, have got lined up with the best guys, and they always promote. They always get these awards that they're always posting out on social media. It's like I look at it, I'm like, okay, you're missing the point. Now flip that over to say like 2M, with Isaul and Joe. When those guys were like nominated for James Beard stuff, right? I guarantee you that those guys are not. You will not know every major thing that's happened to them. That all their credits, all their whole resume. You won't see that. You just won't, and that's a huge difference between chefs and cooks. Difference between pit masters, barbecue guys, and chefs and cooks. It's just the way.
And that brings me on to my next point. Why is every fucking barbecue restaurant award winning?
Because everybody got into it usually with competition barbecue, and they have to.
And you're not fucking cooking that food.
Right? Doesn't matter. It works. It works. I got
if it brings people in the door.
Too, fool. I got 3 first place trophies out there, and guess what?
2011, I think, was when I won the last one. Doesn't matter. It's just a spin on it, and that's the thing is like everybody the same mentality that's going to have somebody who shouldn't put barbecue on the title of their restaurant is the same mentality that they're going to say, I won this award. It's award winning participation trophy.
I know, but I'm just saying it starts to become a participation trophy eventually, right?
Well, eventually, if you don't keep it up, then is it still award winning? How do we know it is? And that's where places like the Shed and those guys go to Memphis in May every year. And to be able to keep saying they are.
How is the Shed? I've never been there. I heard good things. Are they pretty good?
I haven't been there. He's the one going there to go hang out with Brad.
Oh, yeah. I heard that's good stuff. Was it? Did I hear wrong or no?
I don't know.
They've won Memphis in May, like what, 4 or 5 times now?
I think it's 4
for whole hog.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
And and here's the thing: is like when I hear that, I'm like, okay, so they know how to cook. Awesome.
Yeah.
Then, and I know they're not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're not serving the same whole hog that the judges are getting. You're
not.
And that to me is the real trophy. It's like they've been in business for a good long ass time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, it's like, all right, yeah, that's somebody. I don't know. When you know how it is, competition guys, they can go one way or the other. They can be super cool. They can be like the most douchebaggery guy you've ever seen in your life. Usually it's always been pretty cool, but I don't like competitions. Are just kind of different, man.
They are a different world, and that's a thing. Like, I enjoy them. I have fun at them. They're
great.
They're great
for better or worse. It's different. Yeah.
But we'll say anybody that really knows, you're not serving the same thing to regular people.
No, if you're
Can you really call it award-winning barbecue,
if you're cooking the chicken skin, dude, at this point, everybody's got to use whatever leg they can have to try to market however they.
I was going to say, at this point, unfortunately,
I feel like the people that actually are that have lost that because everyone else is.
Yeah, but what always happens, no matter what, good food rises to the top.
Rises to the top.
And that's the ultimate competition in this industry is, like you've always said, Mikey, it's like, I'm competing for your money every day.
Yeah.
And that's the real competition. I mean, 365 days a year, you're out there trying to hustle and sell people your barbecue, and they're telling you that you're winning by giving you their money and coming back and doing it again and interested in what you're doing again and over and over and over again. That's gonna win. And people, when they're broke, will pay for a good meal because you're taking them out of a very stressful, sad, whatever it might be place, and you're putting them into a place of just like, all right, all is right in the world right now because this meal is good and it's done with love and you can feel that. It's as simple as that. And barbecue, God, it just demands a ton of love. You can't fake it.
It does.
If you're not true to it, it's going to let you know. It's going to let everybody know. If you fake it, that's the thing. I mean, for me, I'm getting a little too personal now, but I mean, I've been burnt out. I've had to the point where it's like I'm not giving the product I want. I had to take a time out just because I'm not going to ruin my reputation. At a certain point, I had to take a time out and be like, I'm not going to ruin my reputation. I don't have the love that I need to put into this. So I got to chill out on this and, see where I'm
learn well.
I'm saying,
have you tried 4 hymns?
What's that?
Nothing.
Jesus Christ. The funny thing is, man,
You told me about that a long time ago, and I just told you, no, man, I'm not really interested
Just
in
tried
your
that little
multi-level
blue
marketing
pill.
scheme that you're trying to sell.
No,
Those blue
that
pills.
little, that little blue pill that
I know, and I told you last time was the last time. No means no. Jesus.
You're getting up there in that age. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it could help.
Hey, everybody's hoping for a prostate exam soon too. I know. So at that age.
But I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like,
But if you
and I agree with you. I very, very much agree with you that, like, barbecue takes a lot of love. It really does. It gives you, like, you have to put it into it. You have to. And I think that's what
have to love it. Yeah.
You have to love it, or it'll fucking eat you. It'll eat you alive.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's something me and Miguel talked about a little bit, and we were talking about how much, like, I'm like, dude, I'm like, we do this, and he's like, yeah, and if you don't, he's like, you might as well fucking not do it. And I'm like, I agree with you. I'm like,
yeah,
this is, we were talking about all this stuff, and I feel like, we're moving, so we took this little bit of a break because we've been fucking hustling like crazy. We took a little bit of a break, and I've looked, like, with a break, I can have this little bit of perspective, right? Looking back at everything, and not being so close to the fire, as you may say. I get that, like, little bit bigger
Picture
perspective, and it's like,
you can start seeing the trees instead of just the forest.
Yeah, but it's like, man, there's so many places out there, and so many people that are supposedly competing with us, or are saying that they're barbecue, when they're in no way, shape, or form real barbecue. They're not even close. You know what I mean?
Here's the scary thing about when you get a chance to kind of and I think you've been in the trenches for so long, Mikey, that you haven't had the time to just go, what the hell's going on? And looking around, and it can really easily become overwhelmingly I fell into this. I don't know if it's happening to you, but I fell into this. I started looking around going, well, what the hell is this? And started to find myself getting pissed off at the stuff around me and being offended what was happening to our craft, our art, and what I've seen. And I had to tell myself to shut the hell up and just keep my head down and pursue what I was doing. This was around the time of, like, the NorCal barbecue crew and stuff like that, when that all kind of went to hell. And it was just like, I don't want to look around at other people and worry too much about that crap, because it's going to take away from what I'm doing, or what I'm trying to focus on. And that's the
But if you don't step back and look at what you're doing once in a while,
right? But it's easy
to
overly focus a little bit when you kind of just, because I'm so happy that you're taking this break, Mikey. It's so important. The last thing I would ever want you to do is to jump from, like, Chicago to Florida and not have a chance. It's like, I would hate for something. I want so many amazing things for you, but I would hate for it to happen when you're beat to hell.
Oh yeah,
it's
and
like,
I mean, I don't think
time to.
I don't think I
to
was
to take a break and go, all right, cool, and then you can go into the next thing, and hopefully it blows up into amazing, this amazing thing. I've always been scared of, like, for myself, something great happening, like, oh my God, I'm finding a brick and mortar or something like that, and it's all working out, and I'm burnt out. That would suck. It's like,
no, yeah, that would
suck. You
suck.
have this chance to kind of look around and see what's up, and then go, all right, and kind of step into the next, phase of your life.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wasn't burnt out in a shape.
No,
we honestly looked at it. We looked at it as we were at the step that we either had to go brick and mortar.
Right.
We were getting big enough to where we needed a brick and mortar, and it was either we take that step and go brick and mortar and stay here and then you're locked in, right? Or we looked at it because Ember's 5 years old, So if she transfers schools now,
It's not the end of the world.
it's not the end of the world. She's made friends, but no friends that are like,
Yeah.
She hasn't had these friends for 15 years type thing.
Yeah.
So.
Not like it's going to screw up her schooling.
Exactly. And we've wanted to move. Illinois is a shithole in the sense of taxes and all that kind of stuff. So we were like, now's kind of either the time we do it or we don't. It's either, like, launch now or don't launch at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it was either launch now and go to, Jacksonville or launch in Illinois and just fucking full steam ahead. Let's go.
Well, and the cool thing is you get this kind of a timeout to, dude, it's the best thing you could ever do before you go on to this next phase, because how valuable was just that conversation with Miguel.
Yeah.
Just that one, but you're getting a ton of those,
which is
people
nice.
That, I don't know how you felt when you're out there, but bro, when I went out there and I first met all those guys, I was like, holy shit, I'm at Comic-Con and I'm hanging out with Batman and Iron Man and, oh my God, there's Superman. It's just all, I was losing my mind over there. It was rad. And the amount of knowledge that is given so freely out there, wisdom, not knowledge. Those guys have got the years they have under their belt are ridiculous, and they have no idea how big of like superheroes they are to people, which was
like when I was at 2M, like, dude, when I was at 2M, like Ember was like, they weren't open yet. We were waiting. And Ember's like, I have to pee. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you want from me. Like, you pee in a cup.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, like, I'm like, you either can fucking pee your pants or you got to hold it for 15 minutes. I don't know. Like, those are our two options. Because we're not leaving to go find a bathroom.
Right.
When you're standing in front of a building that has a bathroom that opens in 15 minutes. And by the time I get you in the car and drive down the street and find a fucking public bathroom, they're going to already be fucking open.
Yeah.
There ain't no public bathroom out that way.
No, there's not. You know what I mean? Like, you know where it's at.
There's a nipple factory over there. Did you see the nipple factory?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Seriously, they make nipples. It's a nipple factory. It's awesome. I loved it. It
I
was
did
like,
not see
for
that,
pipe
no.
fitters. Dude, it was like next
I
to
thought
for
you were
pipe
talking
fitters.
about,
Like,
like,
nipple
strip
factory.
clubs.
I was like,
I was like, I
yes!
saw one of those.
Go ahead. Sorry. Like,
So, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, by the time I get you into the car, drive down the fucking street, which is the nearest real bathroom.
It's going to be open.
It's like 10 minutes away. It's going to be open.
Just knock on the door. They let you in.
Oh no, they let us in. So I'm like,
okay.
I'll go around back and see if anyone's by the pit room or whatever, like, to see if I can get
inside.
Like, hey, can I just please borrow your bathroom, my kid? Oh yeah, he's like,
right.
He's like, yeah, just come inside. And I get her inside. She's going to the bathroom. I'm just standing there, and he's like, kind of looks at me. He's like, "What's up, dude?" And I'm like, "Hey."
I love about you, so who just kind of like he embraces a weird moment. You're like, "So what's up, dude?"
Yeah, but he's like, "Hey," he's like, "You're like in my restaurant. We're not open." You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "My kid had to go pee," because like I don't want to be like, I never want to be that person that's like, "Hey, I'm this person." Like,
yeah,
you probably haven't heard of me, but like, I'm cool.
Hey, I know you probably heard of me, but
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't ever want to be
5,000 followers on Instagram. You should give me free food.
Yeah, like, I just don't want to be that person.
all hate those people.
I fucking hate those people.
Exactly.
So when he's like, "Hey, what's up?" and I'm like, "Hey, dude," I'm like, my kid just really needed to go to the bathroom. He's like, "Cool." Like, yeah. Like,
you're like, yeah,
they
do that sometimes.
Yeah, he's like, she's a kid. Like, they have to pee.
Like, he's like, why are you being weird about it?
I'm like, no, but I was like apologizing. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I'm really excited to come here. I'm really excited to eat your food. I've heard great things. I'm like, one of my buddies kind of, knows you, and he's like, who do you know? And I'm like, Sean from Steelhouse Barbecue. And he's like, fuck you don't get food anymore. And I was like, you cut off your man.
Get the fucking
water, that's what you get. And of course, he's like, I fucking love that dude. He's like, you got to kick him in the nuts for me. And I was like, I can do that. And then he's like,
you can't kick that low.
No, it's low. So
he's gonna let Ember do it because Ember's low enough.
Ember can hit that perfect level. But then he's like, because there was a couple other girls that were hanging out, and he's like, hey, he knows Sean from California, and like they're like, and they got all excited and shit like that. And
dude, I love those people.
Everyone was super duper cool. And then he's like, dude, make sure you come see the pit room. He's like, all this stuff, blah, blah. We're talking. He's like, let me know before you get food. And I'm like, nope. See you later. And I went in and like got food, and we got the food that we wanted and everything like that.
See why I did not want to. I'm super happy I met those guys after I ate.
Yeah,
because they're so damn cool. It would have influenced my whole experience.
So like I eat the food, which was good. It was great. It was very good food. Their turkey's fucking hard to beat. So
seriously,
then I walk
it's like,
around.
Dude, there's not a dry seat in that house, dude. Every piece of food you eat is orgasmically great. It's just stupid good.
So we go in the back, and like I'm able to talk to him just a little bit, and like we start talking, and he's like, oh man, he's like, how you know Sean? I'm like, and I kind of told him about it. He's like, oh, I thought you were from California. I'm like, no, dude, I'm from Chicago. I run a food truck up in Chicago. And he was prepping stuff for his food truck to get it out the door.
Right.
And he's like, he's like, you run a food truck? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he's like, you're fucking crazy too, huh? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then we started like talking about like real food issues, about like real like issues that we have together in this industry. And it was just so cool that we were able to, like, it was like that. Like,
instant family.
Yeah, like right
instant family. Yeah. Those guys were like, I met them, and the next day, they were like, I met them on Sunday. We ate at their place. Was it Sunday or Saturday? Can't remember. I think it may have been Saturday. Anyway, the next day, he's like, hey, you want to go meet up at Franklin's tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I was just there like 2 days ago. I'll go back. All right, cool. So it was like 6 of them. It was, it was Joe, Esau.
It had to be Saturday because Franklin's isn't open on Mondays.
Maybe it was Sunday.
Maybe it was Sunday. You guys went Tuesday.
Right. That's probably right. Yeah, that's probably right. Anyway, so I mean, dude, and everybody's waiting in line. Like, everybody knows. They know Aaron, but bro, there's like 10 of us. And we get there at 7:30, all drinking beer. We're all playing cards. We're all got lawn chairs. And that's, like, I met those guys, and it's like that. If you're cool, if you're respectful, if you're not a dick, bro, it's like instant family. That was a shock for me when I went out to Texas and just saw how humble, how loving, and how
it's completely different.
Oh, it's just it's what it's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
I made that my foundation. I'm really happy because I was getting caught up with the whole scene out here and looking around so much. And out there, yeah, those guys work together. Like, they're a big old huge family. Like, if there's any beef, like, you have to really look for it or listen to hear any of the beef that people have between each other.
So, and then we're in Austin, and I was talking to Robert, and he was like, yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm like, no pressure. I'm like, if you want to hang out, I'd love to hang out. Let's hang out. I'm like,
Sierra?
No, Robert, Jacob.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Jacob Laura.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, we're doing a bunch of other stuff. Like, no pressure. If you want to come out, like, hang out. Like, I went to Terry Black's. we did Lockhart's, we did original blacks. We did all that stuff,
barbecue.
right?
Yes,
Smitty's.
disgusting. Yeah, God, should have just microwaved it all. That's disgusting, horrible.
So we did all that like
Terry
alone,
Blacks.
but then
So good.
and I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm like, we're gonna go to Valentina's on, I don't know, I think it was like Thursday, or I think that was I don't remember. Whatever, it doesn't matter, right? And I'm like, I don't know if you want to meet me there, for lunch or dinner or breakfast. I'm like, I think I'm gonna go for breakfast. And he's like, you want something different than your traditional barbecue, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, I really. You know what I mean? Like, not that I'm barbecued out, but like when you hit.
But there's so many great places to eat there, though, man.
And you're hitting them, and you're getting the same shit over and over and over. Not the same. You know what I'm saying? Not the same shit, but it's the same style of food over and over and over. It's like I want to
only have so much
a little bit. So I was like,
I got you.
I kind of want to go to Valentina's for breakfast because I've heard so many good things about their breakfast. So I'm like, fucking want to go for it. So we get there, and like Robert's like, have you ever met Miguel? And I'm like, I've not. He's like, cool, he'll be here in 15 minutes. And I'm like,
huh?
Oh, okay. Like, Miguel shows
that guy
up. He's still drunk. And still maybe a little bit high.
That's in the back of my head the whole time. I'm like, I met him. He was so hungover. In fact, you don't think he was pretty still drunk. He was so bloodshot red eyes. I'm like, I'm glad he said the same.
So
God, I love that guy.
Oh my God. Well, I guess he doesn't drink as much. He doesn't drink as much anymore.
Oh, really? Oh.
But he doesn't drink as less, maybe less either.
No. I guess he's like, dude, I don't drink as much anymore. He's like, but last night, he's like, I was making a bourbon glaze. And
the bourbon got him glazed. I got you.
Yeah, he's like, I accidentally started drinking. And he's like, one turned into two turned into the night. So he was putting out.
Isn't it weird as we get older that we get accidentally drunk? It's like
we all do.
We were like, I'm gonna get messed up. Let's go and do it. Like, we get.
No, now we're like, no.
Maybe
like, I didn't get drunk.
Or
now I'm like, I don't want to fucking get drunk, and then I start drinking, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'm getting hammered. Let's do this shit. It's a bad trait to have.
No, bro. So for me, for a while, I'd be like, what happened?
Right, yeah.
I was fine just a little bit.
How'd I get here?
And just
how do we get to this
What's
state, right?
going on, Jay?
What's up, brother? So he's like, we're talking, and he's like, man, I made this. He's like, I got stuff coming out. He's like, so don't eat all your food. And I'm like, what? He's like, we have stuff coming out of the kitchen. Oh my God.
So difficult, bro. So I thought in Texas, only time I've ever wished I had a bigger gut.
I'm like, but I've eaten, like, I'm almost full. He's like, yeah, so stop eating. Okay.
Hang on,
as you're looking down at it like, but I don't want to.
Yeah, but I want to eat that. So he's like, shut the fuck up and wait. I'm like, okay. So where did Sean go? What the fuck happened here?
He said he had to go do something. He'd be right back.
So we're there, right? And Miguel brings out empanadas. Because they're bringing in empanadas.
Dude, I love empanadas. I could eat those fucking things all day.
When I tell you that these were the best empanadas I've ever had, like, it is an understatement.
Oh my God, empanadas.
Now think about Miguel making empanadas.
Stop it. You're getting me excited.
Right?
No more need for hymns. Good.
Like, perfect. Right? And then he's also putting out like a cornbread pudding or cornbread like
Ooh. Chris, we're talking about Miguel's over in it's called Valentina's over in Texas.
So,
Chris says, a buddy of mine does some barbecue. What's up, Daniel?
what's up, brother?
What's
So
going
he
on?
does. So he's doing this new cornbread, and he's like, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of sugar out of it. And me and Robert are like, no, dude, this is fucking perfect. He's like, I'm gonna take more sugar out of it. We're like, we're just gonna listen to whatever you fuck you say. And I'm like, this was smoked over mesquite. He's like, yep, it was smoked over mesquite. I'm like, you could never fucking tell.
No.
Never.
Dude, that guy's
Which that takes
whisperer.
skill.
Oh, dude, it's
With
hard what he
mesquite,
does with mesquite.
that takes so much skill because it is
He is
so
a
easy
Merlin.
to over smoke anything with
Man,
mesquite.
you just trip and fall and breathe wrong.
Hold on.
You gotta over smoke mesquite.
Does my dog look dead?
Oh, but at least I don't hear her eating her bone or toy or whatever she was for a
That's
while
the
there.
other dog. This one's
I'm
dead.
gonna die. She look a little stoned. She look a little stoned.
Man, we'll take a closer picture.
No, Miguel is the most talented man I've ever met with mesquite. You would never think in a million years.
So he's making like
so good.
They're cooking new briskets, whatever. And we start talking about save that video. I want it. So he's like teaching because he's got a couple new guys, and he's teaching them how to build a fire properly and everything. And one of the guys that was with Robert, who's he's a filmmaker who's making a video, a movie about Robert, like a short, not like a 5-hour movie, I don't think, but I don't know. So he's telling Miguel. Like, you know, he's just letting him talk, and Miguel's like, yeah, he's like, you got to do this, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, so you have a good clean fire, you get good oxygen, you get good, the heavy wood pushes down on the drier wood and all that, so you get, forced combustion, and he's like, Miguel kind of looks at me, and he's like, yeah, exactly, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I know how to cook. He's like, you know how to really cook. He's like, none of that bullshit. He's like, you know how to really cook.
What's up, dude?
Peanut? What up, Peanut? We're talking about
Miguel
and Valentina's.
But, man, it's so, like, when you go to Valentina's, though, like,
it's a magician.
The man's a magician, yeah.
It was so. The reason I was able to cook for Guns N' Roses is because Slash's bodyguards, Slash and Duff's bodyguards are Samoan, and I fed other Samoans in the food industry and got connected with them. They went to Valentina's while they were in Texas, and there's a bunch of folks there that they had he's texting me from Valentina. He's like, bro, Robert, this place he told me to go is so good. It's fire. I'm like, cool, man. You like it? These guys are big. They're huge, big dudes. They have no idea who we're bringing this barbecue back to. Dude, Slash and Duff were all over it. Like I texted Miguel and I was like, just so you know, you're popular and people that you don't know who you're popular with. He was like, for real? I'm like, dude, seriously, it's like Guns N' Roses loves your stuff. He's like, yeah. I'm like, cool, man. But that's the thing. I think my favorite barbecue joint in the world is
Yeah, I saw the Mel did.
What I missed.
Oh. Okay.
I'm a big, huge fan of 2M, but what Miguel did at Valentina's is the most. It's not fusion, you know what I mean? But it's fusion. It's barbecue. Nobody would say it's anything. They would say it tastes similar to this, but nobody would say that Valentina's is anything except barbecue because it's barbecue.
I mean, I think Robert Jacob Larmer hit it on the last post that he made for him, though. Like, Miguel, he is one of the most influential. I'm making up words now. One of the most influential, like Tex-Mex people in Texas. Period.
Without trying.
Yeah, but he's blazed a path.
Yes.
Yep.
That others will try to walk down, and I don't know if they can. And I'm sure there will be others. Don't get me wrong. He's not going to be the only person in the world that can create the food that he does.
But that's why everybody has to follow their own path.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, what he did is like, and what me and him talked about is like the hard work that we put into this shit is not like anybody else's.
No.
People don't understand the shit that we do to make the food that we make for you to enjoy. Like I've always said, like, I'm thinking about your lunch before you're hungry. I'm thinking about your lunch or your dinner before you've woken up for your day. There's not many things in this world that can say, not many people that can say that. There's not many styles of food. Yes, don't get me wrong. There are certain things like there's brines and there's slow cooked pork shoulders. There's other stuff. There is, you know what I mean? I understand, like, well, the guy who made the cheese that was, made for a year, you could say that he's been thinking about it for a year before you wanted cheese. Agreed. I get it. But that motherfucker put it up on a shelf and it did its thing. He didn't fucking tend to fire for 17 hours.
Do you know how many 24-hour work days you've had? You guys, can you count?
Don't
24-hour work.
I don't want to.
I don't have enough fingers or toes.
Have you ever done the math on how much you
No.
make on a gig?
No.
Because you would
You never
do it.
You never do the math. I remember I was
fun.
Dude, the last time the first time I did Justin Timberlake's his first concert was a 48-hour workday. That's not true. It's 46. I slept for 2 hours. I had like a little nap. But I come from construction, homie. I've never worked harder in my life.
That was the question
for barbecue.
The question was, did you bring sexy back?
I never went anywhere, homie.
Boys, this is the Barbecue Chat Show, guys. We're here every fucking Sunday. I gotta run. I'm sorry. I got an issue that I gotta go deal with.
Go deal with it.
Thank you so much.
Mikey has some squirties.
No, but
You got to go ahead, puke it out.
He had some text, but no. He had mostly Max and no text out there. Guaranteed squirties.
No,
don't drink the water.
Guys, thank you so much. We love everybody. Guys, Barbecue Chat Show. Make sure you follow the page, share it. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
Later.
Later, guys.
Peace out.
Later.